the sound of the shower that I fixed. We're getting ready for a Your Honor marathon. We have 3 days to watch 9 episodes before it goes off on Now TV. Just had a shower. Yeah, we've had a cracking day today. Woke up this morning, sorted out the shopping list, meal plan, all of that stuff. We went shopping, went to go pick up the box thing for the shower thing. Came back, tried to attach it, figured all that stuff out, got it working, happy days. Laura did a load of gardening. I've been doing some Pulumi programming, trying to figure out how to drive config in, and I'm now getting issues. So like, I'm now getting issues basically with the service provider, but I was trying to figure out how to drive config in from where it can be transformed as part of a build pipeline. And I couldn't figure out how to do that. I didn't want to have that in source files and stuff. I wanted to be able to drive values in from somewhere else, basically. But got that sorted. And then we had a barbecue. We just had a barbecue outside, which is why, well, apart from the fact that otherwise we wouldn't have had a shower, because obviously having a bath in the evening, fixing the shower midday means we're due a bath in the evening, right? But we had a barbecue, so obviously like smell a bit of smoke and barbecuing. Not anymore, boys. We went to the beach today, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long weekend. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Had a day off holiday today. You can't spend all of that time sitting in front of a computer. So, got up, drove to Weston, which is not too far away from Bristol, but the traffic on the way there was horrendous. Also, our air conditioning is broken in our car. It's now booked in because, like, the idea of doing stuff like that on a nice warm day with no air conditioning is trash. So, and we'll do it much more often if we could drive there in comfort, you know. But we went there, had a walk up and down the like, whatever it's called, beach thing. Had some ice cream, got a little lunchbox with some fruit in it and some drinks, just water. Sat on the beach, just chilling out, and then we came back, living the dream. Since then, we're watching Your Honor on Now TV, and it's like goes off of watching 3 episodes a day at the moment, because it's going to leave Now TV soon, and we want to finish it. What else? I have figured out my configuration woes. I've also figured out how to do testing for Pulumi, unit testing for Pulumi. This is I've done it like for the initial stuff. It's kind of like component testing a little bit, rather than unit testing. But I've got the test for the initial bit now. I need to polish it up so it like looks nicer. I just kind of got it working because I don't have a lot of time. And then I need to extend it out so it covers everything I need. And then I need to play around with how I'm going to set up the namings for stuff, like all the environments and all that kind of shit. Got to make sure that's all nice and tied up in a little bow so it's nice and easy to work with. I'm just kind of putting it all in one repo for now, and then next time I do something with Pulumi, then it'll like come for free kind of thing. I'll like split it out into a NuGet package or something. But I want to do it so that like you can drive in config to say, deploy this to UK South, for example, location wise for London. And then that appear logically in different formats. So like you'd want it in a different format in one environment than another, or the environment name, more to the point. You'd want that differently in the resource group than you want it into the apps, and I'm trying to figure out like a good way of doing that basically. But yeah, it's been the day. It's been good fun. Back to work tomorrow. Should be dry though. We're longboarding in. I've already made my sandwich for tomorrow. I had like a fresh bit of bread that I've sliced, and I'm already not looking forward to it because I just feel like I fucked it up. And tomorrow I'm gonna I'm gonna eat that fresh bread sandwich, and it's not gonna be as nice. And I should have just had it for toast. And I'm just picturing me throwing it away when I get in. Back into the office day after 2 days off. Well, bank holiday Monday and then just 1 day's holiday. Weather is absolutely gorgeous. Apparently it's supposed to there's a chance of thunderstorms later. So I'm rolling the dice a little bit. But it's a Wednesday. I try and go to the office on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and how can you say no to a longboard like this, even though it does feel weird? You never know, especially with an office that's so quiet, what the air conditioning is going to be like. If no one's in, then we can whack the air conditioning on, or potentially, like, not the heating, but you know what I mean, turn the air conditioning off if you get cold legs. But I don't necessarily have that control. Well, there's not the predictability of like a full office, and there's not the control of just being by yourself, you know. Laura has another day off today. She was off yesterday as well. Oh my golly. No, I can't make that turn. It's a really tight hairpin here. You got to really have to hit at a right angle. And then there's two bloody cyclists in the way. God damn it! I had to. Fucking hell. But yeah, so she's got a day off. I'm getting out of her hair basically. What do you think of my odds for a dry thingy home? I think it's got potential to rain. It keeps spitting every now and again. But it is like really hot. It feels weird walking around in a light green t-shirt and shorts. But it's really hot. I'm just getting a bit of a walk around the block. I've been aggressively clearing down my to-do list, but I'm kind of bored now. I think I'm going to be longboarding back. But yeah, so we're working. I've just got one more compliance training thing to do and I'm done. So I got the bus home on the way back with my longboard. Got about 10 minutes out of the city centre. The roads sopping wet. Some of the pavements, like where the sun had been, had dried, but like basically it was wet. And it was only dry because of how hot it was. Got out of the city centre, bone dry. I could have done it. I reckon I probably could have. Problem is like where the trees cover the path, there might have been some wet patches, which I could have just walked around. But hey ho. Otherwise today I've pulled a blinder and was able to basically like clear the decks. So I've cleared off all of my to-do lists. I'm rolling into the next sprint, like new sprint tomorrow for one of the teams, and one of them started today. So both teams have started a new sprint and I'm starting it with no hangover. So it means I get to do some stuff. I just got to figure out what. Otherwise as well, I've been figuring out how to like kind of organise other things. We've just finished binge watching Your Honour. It was really good. And now, hopefully, as of tomorrow, we're going to have loads of spare time, although it's a Thursday tomorrow. So I might just start early. I'm thinking of starting early again and just not staying too late. Look at this, man. This perpetual will it, won't it rain. It's fucking scary, boys. It's Long Walk Thursday, but I'm not going on a long walk. We have like an all hands. The only reason I do Long Walk Thursday is because we have an all hands at 5. So I don't finish work till 5:30, so I start an hour later. I'm not doing that today. I know what the topic of the all hands is, and I know it's going to be boring. so I'm not going to go to it. But this morning I actually woke up earlier. I'm going to try and shift my wake up time. And effectively like give up on being a night owl. I think at the moment I kind of cut it, even though I get up at 6 in the morning, I kind of cut it a little bit. Like, so I get up at 6, start work at 8, finish at 4:30, go to bed at like 10 or 11, yeah? Whereas now I'm going to try and wake up at some point between 5 and 5:30 instead of half 5 and 6. Gonna have a shower, and then I'm gonna do some meditation, which I'm getting back into. I dropped the meditation thing. I think it's because I was doing it in the evening, made less sense. Then like have breakfast, and then either go for a walk. Well, no, go for a walk, but try and fill my time in the morning. If I'm starting later, then do something else. You know, I'm kind of like at that point again now where I want to do things, and therefore I want to build more time. We were talking about it on the beach the other day, about how like still kind of use time as an excuse, even though we've got way more time than we used to. Like, we don't have to commute, we don't have to do whatever. We've just chosen to fill our time with nothing rather than whatever. So there's that. Also, now I've cleared my decks on like my to-do lists and whatnot. I've got a plan of what I'm going to do when I go to work today. I'm going to drive forward like 2 things and then third thing tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm on it, boys. It's been a productive day today. I got in, wrote some end-to-end tests for the new team that have never done end-to-end tests before, and got them running and passing. Pretty easy. I just kind of flew in and did it in an hour, and then realised that they never even had a clue where to do it, so I've definitely saved them some time there. Otherwise, chipping through a load of like meeting based stuff, and then I've been building out some, I want to try and end-to-end test something that we've not been able to end-to-end test before. I'm trying to do it effectively, so living the dream. It's kind of a partial end-to-end, as in it's not full end-to-end, it just touches a third party. So I'm just kind of like chopping off all of our system and then just kind of going from here to there. Whereas at the moment we've kind of got all of our system to the very start of our system. I want to go from the start of our system all the way through. But yeah, so that's good. Otherwise, went for a walk after dinner. We cooked something today called braised fennel provençale. And we ended up with fish and chips instead because it was fucking horrible. We don't have to binge watch Your Honour anymore. So we just had a nice relaxing evening. In fact, I just want to check. We didn't know whether or not, when it says 1 day left, whether or not it would ever say 0 days left, you know. And otherwise, I've been doing some Pulumi stuff. I hit an issue with the testing, and then I realised that there's two things called name, and one of them isn't what I thought it was. And when you try and test it, you end up with like semi-intermittent issues, which is not fun. So, okay, so it will legitimately say 1 hour left. Interesting. That means we didn't need to binge watch it quite as much as we did. But yeah, I had some issues with like tidying up the tests. I've got it now, and I think I need to figure out what I want to cover in the unit tests, because I feel like you need semi-elaborate mocks to do it, in which case, what's the point? You know, you're just testing your mocks at that point. But we'll see. I'll figure it out. And I think it's not going to be as simple as like, here, shape a mock, use it forever. It's like, shape a mock for the thing you're doing, which might have limited value. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so it'll be much easier to do it on input than it will be on output as well, I would have thought. So I may as well just validate it on input. If I'm going to use a mock, why not just validate it on input instead of validate it on output? Because the output is just my fucking mock. Anyway, I don't know. It's a bit weird. I'm trying to wrap my head around it a bit. But yeah, it's bedtime. Monty's going absolute batshit crazy at like 4 o'clock in the morning again. God damn it. Alarm went off today. It varies based on how awake I am, because it's obviously on my wrist, so it just like, I don't know, goes off my heart rate or something, fuck knows. Went off today at like 5:10. And I'm like, this is stupid. But I mean, I don't start work until 8. I get up at 5:10. But yeah, I got up, I had a shower, I did a lot of headspace meditation, and then I had breakfast, got ready, had a shave, and I'm out for a walk, and I'm about on time as normal. So basically what I've done is I've created an extra like half an hour or so in the morning, effectively for just being a little bit slower, you know, so I can like spend a little bit longer getting ready, or just like relaxing and getting into the right frame of mind, potentially going to a longer walk. Days where I start later, then I can do something before work. I actually spent a little bit of time massaging the Excel spreadsheets I'm using to track crypto, and let's not talk about that. But otherwise, what else? Do a little bit of programming, you know, that kind of stuff. And on long walk Thursdays, if I'm getting up at 5:10, starting swimming at 6:30 isn't that early anymore, you know? Laura's gone to the office for the first half of the day to like go through some files or something, which means I'm downstairs, living the dream. I've got Formula 1 on, gotta watch free practice, just while I do a little bit of programming. Got a bit of a tea break. I'm playing around with some UI automation tests. Just been watching, like I say, I told you that, watching Formula 1. But yeah, half day today, so I'm finishing at 2, lunch at 1. Bit bizarre. But Laura's got her jab, her like second vaccine, at about 10 to 2. So she'll be walking back from there at 2ish, so I'll go for a walk and walk back with her. Otherwise today, we fucking smoked it, boys. Got really far with programming stuff at work, helping out somebody with some stuff. Mr. Moo Moo is in a bit of a fighty mood. He wants to fight my feet. And he does this thing where he like straddles your feet and then gets offended at the fact that he's near them, you know. Also, we tried to give him... Monty, come here. We tried to give him a treat. Oh, it's splurged on the side. The first time we gave him one of these, he absolutely like shit himself. It was that exciting. And like, it's really weird, guys. He doesn't like food. We don't understand it. He doesn't eat. He doesn't really eat his own food. He doesn't eat treats. Like, you can't reward him for doing something good because he just doesn't want it. You would like give him a treat and I'd be like, don't want that, Jimmy. Yeah, smoked that. Went to walk to pick up Laura, and then spent all day basically doing Pulumi stuff. I've now got to the point where everything is unit tested. It can do like preview deployments. It's all generated from config, so I can define the environment and the regions, and it'll automatically generate all of the names and stuff in the right kind of format that makes sense. I'm pretty proud of it. Now all we need to do is actually deploy it. I can deploy it from my machine, but actually deploy it as part of the pipeline, and then it's done. And then we can start using it, using the thing I've now deployed as part of other pipelines to run integration tests on build. So I'm kind of building an environment that will allow me to spin up environments and tear them down really quickly. That's basically what I've done. It's really cool. It's great. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I am absolutely pooped. I am. And as you can tell, when you brush his little forehead like this, that's his favourite thing. You can't see because my big fat thumb's in the way. Oh yes. Look at that. What a little baby. Got up early again today. Slept terribly last night. It was way too hot. I woke up this morning with hay fever. I was up several times in the middle of the night, so I didn't sleep very well. And I'm now like, it's been a couple of days now where I've been waking up like kind of 5:30 in a row. I think I'm just settling into it. I'm a bit knackered. Been doing lots of programming today. I've been looking at property testing and integration testing with Pulumi. Getting really stuck and ended up having to brute force my way through it using Python. I'm going to try and go back to TypeScript, and then hopefully it's a little bit less brute force. Now I know how the whole thing works. It only works with Python and TypeScript, there's two things. Integration tests can be full .NET though, so that's good. But yeah, so got a lot of progress there. Formula 1, spent some time in the garden with the cat, which is why it's so pooped. More programming. Laura fell asleep. She got a haircut and has been recovering. Lots of sleeping from the terrible sleep last night and a jab. And yeah, otherwise we spent the evening watching TV. We've started Game of Thrones. Classic Sunday vibes today, ladies and gentlemen. We actually went to town. I haven't been to town like actually shopping in a long time. Laura wanted to get some stuff. I'm looking for some I'm struggling to find some sun cream designed for getting like prickly heat. When I'm on holiday, I'm obviously not going on holiday this year, so it's not an urgent thing that I need to find. But when I go on holiday, I get really bad like prickly heat in like specific areas, like kind of like here, my feet. I'm trying to find a sun cream that would be good for that, because apparently there's like physical or mineral sun creams and they don't soak into your skin. They like sit on top of it. but finding one is something that Laura says exists, and I can't find them. So also, I was just kind of like browsing in general, found some shorts I really liked, and then bought some t-shirts because they were like £3 a t-shirt. And I was like, fucking okay. Bloody bargain, boys. What else? What else went down? Yes, we had some lunch. Brought some sushi back. Watched Formula 1, and then it was like cleaning, doing all the cleaning stuff. Did some programming. So this morning I was smashing through some Pulumi stuff. I've now got like the property tests all running properly with TypeScript. It's so much better. They're all running. They're also running on the build environment. So I've now got 3 different environments technically. One being the final production one, although it's not production. And it like builds the thing, deploys it, tears it back down again, makes sure all of that works, runs tests on it during all of those stages. There's one other level of testing, like integration tests that are built into Pulumi. I'm going to see what that's all about, basically. We are now like 100% into the world of things I don't need to do any of the stuff that I've been doing, but it's just kind of a learning exercise. It's just like, I've not done any of this stuff before, and I want to go. So I've learned how to do unit tests for Pulumi. I've learned how to do property tests, / policy based tests, where like you can define as a policy that no web app can be only HTTP, for example. So I've now got those. They all have to be HTTPS, that kind of thing. Although not that thing, because I'm not doing a web endpoint, but anyway. And now I'm going to try and do integration tests. Obviously, it's probably worth writing some kind of test that makes sure that you can connect to it or something. I don't know. It's kind of odd because it's a container registry. So I don't really know what that's going to entail. But Pulumi has its own like integration stuff in it. So I'm going to learn what that is rather than like effectively build a client that can connect to it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that's very applicable. Had some dinner, watched some TV, going to bed. My alarm went off at 5:30 this morning. I was in the middle of a dream where I was at work, so that was really confusing. It is not warm enough to wear a t-shirt and shorts, but I am. But yeah, I got up and I very quickly got ready and basically headed out for a walk. I need to put the bins out. So I'm gonna go back. I'm just doing a standard-ish walk, even though I'm like really far ahead of time. I'm gonna go back and then I'm gonna do a little bit of meditation before my day at work. Hoping to finish a little proof of concept for driving this UI to validate some stuff for an end-to-end test. I'm hoping, but I'm not. I have a feeling I'm just going to get hit brick wall, but we'll see. In the sun it's lovely and warm. Last night we moved the fan into the bedroom and it's so much better. Like, it's just like nice and cool. You just put it on nice and quiet. It's nice and cool, and I didn't wake up with hay fever either, so that's even better. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend those Dyson fans unless you get really bad hay fever, and then maybe consider it. But yeah, it's all right. It's not too bad. But what it is good at is being on low, but the like wind going a long way. Like, it's not very strong, and it isn't very quiet either, but you can feel the wind a lot further away than you would a normal, like a standard fan, I think. Could be a placebo though. You know, interestingly, if you track my, oh well, I've been tracking my mental health on a mental health tracker thing. Mondays are by far the worst day. I mean, it's like, good, like that, it just dives and then like builds back up again. Don't even really know why. Although this week isn't a fun week. I've got 3 shitty meetings. Fucking testing maturity models I've got to do. I hate them. They're the worst part of my job by a long way. But anyhow, I actually got quite a lot done. I've finished a proof of concept thing for an extra bit of testing that we want to do. I want to do. I just need to get some real users set up, which isn't going to be fun. I don't think I can actually run it in the team environment either. But otherwise, we've been brushing Monty all fucking day. He's molting like mad. You can literally just brush him an hour later and you'll get an entire brush full. It's crazy. What else? That's about it really, to be honest. I pulled the trigger yesterday and I've now got, I'm going to the office tomorrow, and I've got a dock and a plug. So now in theory I've got a plug which can charge my laptop and power the dock. And I can also charge other things from that plug as well if I wanted to, but potentially slowly drain my laptop. But it would do 100 watt through one port and then like 60, and then depending on what other ports you put through, it's like less. But it's like 85 watts and then 15 watt through standard USB-A. So in theory, I just need one plug. I don't need to take another plug to charge them like my phone or my headphones if they ever die on me. So looking forward to that. Otherwise, standard Monday shopping, you know. Remind me, guys, I'm gonna have to change these wheels because, like, my backpack's so light except for my longboard charger. So if I change my wheels, look how dry it is, mate. There's plenty of dryness. I won't need my charger. Also, you get the added benefit of it being faster and also a little bit more usable in scenarios where you might not want to use the electric. Although it's a little bit less comfortable to ride. That's the downside. I was paying close attention. There's only one place where it's it would be uncomfortable on the other wheels. There is the added benefit of being able to use this in more weather conditions, but I'll just not come into the office. Having said that, I should probably cycle instead, but hey ho. This dock works a treat as well. Oh my god. This cable's kind of annoyingly short, but then I don't know. I kind of wish you could swap between having a long cable here and a long cable to the plug. I guess the idea is that you also use the like USB like SD card readers and shit on here, which is understandable, I guess. Interestingly, as you plug other things into here, it kind of like turns the power off for the whole thing for a split second, which obviously means all of my monitors dance around. It's just me in the office today, so just finished a session, which is like, I've got 3 of them this week and they're the worst part. They're just crap. I don't understand. I don't get it. On a serious note, I think those sessions are, I'm just trying to figure out where the cat is, are, oh there he is. Hello baby. It's been sat there all day. I think those sessions are like, they're almost in an insight into what my role is supposed to be and how for the past however long I've not been doing what I'm supposed to be doing because we've needed someone to firefight. And like what I was doing initially where I was spinning 6 teams versus what I need to do now are 2 completely different things. And annoyingly the skills you need to develop to do one are the absolute opposite of the other. Even though they sound quite similar. So I need to figure out some stuff basically. But yeah, I need to change my approach because I've kind of still been approaching it like I've been approaching it as if it's something that's not effectively, because there's so little like guidance. That's the thing. There's so little like. Anyhow, yeah, I need to ponder. It's still not too late for me to go back, but I feel like it is too late. It's not technically too late, but it is effectively too late because everything's moved on so much. And like what I was doing to try and drag the team into like the way I like working is like completely undone now. And they're even further away from the way that I like working. And yet I think the role I'm currently doing has shifted into what it's more like what it's supposed to be. And I don't like it. / I'm not very good at it. Pick your poison. Yeah, I am relatively downhill for the rest of the day. Oh, I've got 2 more of them fucking sessions tomorrow. Oh god. One of them is with a team I don't even own. Jesus Christ. But yeah, otherwise came home. Like I say, not been feeling in a great mood. Had dinner, tried to meditate, tried to zen out. Probably going back into the office again tomorrow, don't know. More people will be in the office. I feel like Tuesday no one ever goes in, it's just me. But like Wednesday and Thursday more people go in, so we'll see. We'll see. I definitely can't go Thursday. That's the one day I can't go. Maybe tomorrow I'll go. We've got air conditioning. That's the one advantage. The question is, this will be the deciding factor in the morning, is I need to have a productive day. And there's going to be two things that are going to buffer me into like instability, you know? And I need to pick what's going to be better for me mentally. Being in the office where I can like focus, or being here where I can rant. But it's easier to not focus. I kind of feel quite unprepared for today. Like, firstly, my head isn't in anywhere near as good a place as it was yesterday. But also, because I like packed my bag yesterday and didn't take anything out of it last night, I haven't packed it today. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. And like, also I didn't charge my longboard. And I know my longboard can do there and back. But it's a lot better at doing back and there because it's all downhill on the way there. But a combination of all those things mean I feel like I'm like in a daze. Like I don't know, I feel like I'm forgetting something for one. But I need to get into the office, I need to have some focus time, I need to like throw everything at today, you know? And I won't be able to do that at home. Well, I will, but I can control more variables at the office. I like the office. I don't necessarily like at home, you know? On a bit of an explore this lunchtime. 2 people are in the office today. 2 people I've never met too as well, so I'm getting a bit of combo in. It's quite nice. I think he's a team lead for a different team. But he's new, he's relatively new anyway. Compared to me, I'm haggard. But yeah, I'm gonna make a bit of an explore. I've got a meeting at 1, so I'm having lunch a bit early. At home, I've got like loads of walks that are like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. I don't have anything like that in town. So I'm basically trying to build them, I'm trying to make them. And I'm on a bit of an explore, looking around, trying to find stuff. Also, the thing I forgot today was crisps. There's nothing worse than a sandwich with no crisps, so I need to find some crisps before I go back. Even though I don't know of many walks around town, they are all a lot more interesting to look at than the walks around our house. So I think surprisingly we actually ended out today feeling a lot better than yesterday. I had some horrendous hay fever though, it's got to be said. Despite taking tablets as well, but hey ho. It was a pretty good day. I need to figure out what I'm doing effectively, but I think I figured out a strategy of like how to minimize the negative externalities. So things like just the way I approach certain situations or whatever. And like how I'm going to approach the day-to-day now that effectively the problem I had was, I think I've said in this video, what I've been used to isn't what it is now, and I don't know if I'm good at what it used to be, not necessarily good at what it is now. But yeah, like I say, it was a relatively productive day. I went in and I was like not in a good place, hammered through some work, made some progress, talked to some people who were in the office as well, living the dream. Came back, we had some dinner, watched some TV, meditate a little bit, and I'm prepping my bag because tomorrow I'm going swimming, and I'm just like figuring out what stuff I need to take, because I'll be leaving like way before Laura even thinks about waking up. So I can't put this somewhere where Monty's going to get it. But yeah, I think basically I'm just going to put all of these clothes into there, then take this downstairs, sit and wait for it, and then in the morning I'll have everything. Swim shorts already in there. Just wear these. I just need clothes to walk back in, and then I've got to come back here and have a shower anyway, because you can't shower when you're there, which is bizarre, the IMO. But I think I've got everything. I also need to remind myself, I'm going to do that now actually, to change my watch settings, because last time I swam with my watch on, it didn't tell me like what. The screen kept going off, basically, and I want to be able to see it while I was swimming. Monty, that's my chair. Today, I went swimming in the morning. I've been wanting to go swimming for a while, but because you have to book it, you can't just like go. Normally, pre-COVID, you would go like there's like a 4-hour window where you can go and you just kind of go in that window, yeah. Now it's like 45-minute chunks, starting at 6:30, and then the other one was 7:30. Now the problem I've always had is 7:30's a bit too late. That means I'm going to get back by like earliest 8:30, unless I leave early. And 6:30 was always a bit too early because I used to get up at 6. I've changed that now. I now potentially wake up at 5:10, but often wake up at 5:30. My watch wakes me up based on whatever sleep cycle I'm in. So I've like built some more time in. So now I've got comfortably an hour. Today I had comfortably an hour before I had to leave in the morning, and then got back and comfortably an hour before I started work at 9. Brilliant. But I enjoyed it. I was trying to do more constant swimming rather than like 100 meters. I want to try and make a thing of it, go more often, and whatnot. I want to get to the point where I go often enough to justify getting a gym membership, which gives you free swimming, and then potentially have the incentive. But to do that, I've got to go at least once a week. Once a week is as cheap as paying for a year. So like each swimming session is like £5, and it's like £22 a month for if you get a year-long contract. And then you get gym membership and free swimming, but it's £30 if you pay by the month. But anyway, that's that. Otherwise, today it's been a bit like kind of all over the place. We got the car fixed. We've had some air conditioning issues, i.e. it's not worked. That's fixed. Otherwise, been chomping through stuff. Been out of the house a lot because obviously I went to go drop the car, brought it back, etc. Went out at lunch to go pick up some oranges. But yeah, it's just been kind of all over the place a little bit. Washing as well. I did a clothes wash today and it rained. Fucking hell, hasn't rained in ages. Sod's law. But I've been chipping through some work. I've been like trying to figure out what I need to focus on, and I'm like doing it, you know. I'm just being like, these are the things that I need to do, and I'm just kind of throwing myself at it. Like I say previously, I've like had 6 teams and therefore wasn't able to like throw myself at stuff, and then I made the mistake of like spreading myself too thin, and I'm currently spreading myself too thin and then not really like finishing anything, and then it's making it look like I'm not doing anything. So I'm like figuring out a way to deal with that basically. I've got like 4 or 5 things I'm running at the same time, and I need to start closing some off and really like drill in and get to the point where I can be consciously pushing all the stuff that they're currently working on, prepare things so that I can get the team to do a lot of work for me in the future, and then also drive my own stuff. Figuring it out. But I had a pretty good day after work. Played some Xbox, played some Dishonored 2. It's really good. It's actually a really good game. Fucking love it, man. And yeah, we're also getting into Game of Thrones. So we're like 3 episodes in. Look at that, we got that Friday feeling, boy. Half day today, and I don't think I've got any meetings. Always have half days on Fridays. I'm looking for a day that I can like book some holiday in. I'm not very good at booking like ad hoc holiday just for the sake of it. I'm looking for like a Monday, Tuesday to book off at some point soon. I just can't pick a weekend that I want to extend. What else is going on in my little life? But yeah, today I'm thinking we're going to do a big old... I'm going to try and spin out some tickets, basically. I'm going to do a big old review of code coverage over some tier 1 and tier 2 apps. We're going to get in the weeds. It's going to be a load of fun. Yeah, boy. I'm going to do a lot of like, in the tail end of today, going to do a lot of like learning, finish off some integration testing stuff for Pulumi. I haven't had a chance to like get stuck into that this week since I've been in a weird like headspace, but I'm looking forward to doing that the rest of the day. What I'm really interested in is the logistics of like learning a new technology stack. Like, I'm pretty heavy into .NET development. I can do like front end work except styling, can't do CSS to save my life. But I can do like front end technologies like Vue and TypeScript stuff like that. But like predominantly I'm like a C# guy. How do you like, is it possible to kind of transition into a different stack without just kind of going straight back down to junior, which is where you probably should be, you know? How does that work? And I bring it up because a lot of startups, none of them use .NET. Like, if you want to go work for a 10 or 20 person strong company, like a really small, scrappy startup, they're all using like cool, hip technologies. And I don't know how much, you know, if I want to do that, I think that's dumb, using just what's fashionable, just because it's fashionable, because it won't be fashionable forever. But if I wanted to do something like that, could I? I don't know. I mean, TypeScript's pretty C-sharpy, but I don't know, man. The same reason that like people claim like, oh, we use the best tool for the job. That's very rarely the case. Often the best tool for the job happens to be the technology that most of your employees know and understand, or like the technologies that you can hire most easily. But, right, I often don't think that Node is the right tool for the job for back-end stuff, but people use it, you know? And it's like, the same thing applies both ways. People think like C# and .NET world people don't, you know what I mean, don't consider Node. Often they do, often we do at work. It's just never the right technology. Because there's like performance benefits and like security and library benefits to .NET, but yeah, the same thing applies the other way. .NET people think, Node people think like you shouldn't use .NET or C# because of like what it is. But yeah, it's just something I'm like interested in, because I think if my next job, I want it to be in a really, really small company. I've decided I don't like big companies. They don't suit me. And that either means I need to go to a small company of like 10 people, or a small development team in a company that predominantly does something else. Which is like, also has negatives, you know. Ideally it would be a small company, but a technology company that happens to be small rather than a small technology department within another company. Also, I got these new shorts at the weekend. Trying to figure out if this colour goes, like what this colour goes with and what it doesn't go with. Does it go with bright red? I'm not sure. Don't ask me why I've done this to myself, but I've basically volunteered myself for a sales pitch for something I think I don't want. Which is, I'm going to tour around this gym, a David Lloyd gym, which is too expensive, on the hope that the swimming pool is nice. Laura's gone out socialising. She's doing some networking before she has to pick a new seat at work. This wasn't like initially on the plan. Change my battery. We were planning to have Roman pasta for dinner tonight, but we're not. I'm having beans and egg on toast. And I'm actually really fucking excited for it. Like, you know, it's a bit like having breakfast for dinner. You don't have that very often. So it's like a little bit like nostalgia, just having like a proper student meal, you know what I mean? Otherwise, the gym, right? That place, off-peak, basically no benefits, where you can use the pools, gym, classes, some classes anyway. £66 a month, ludicrous money. It's not worth it. But the £129 a month thing, I was there and I'm like, you know what? I can understand why you'd pay that. I can understand why that's good, like semi-decent value. That's not overpriced. And I've now become the kind of person who thinks that, firstly. But secondly is like, you know what? I can actually see myself here. Like, it's bizarre. But the student part of me is like, that's a lot of money. But the like, young professional side of me is, I could pay that money and not really notice, you know? I'm like legitimately balling these days. And like I say, I can pay that and probably not notice on a monthly basis. So, but then it's like, I've gone swimming once. What I want is, I want to get going. I want to like get fit and like think of myself, like go to the gym. It's a really nice gym. It's a really nice pool. It's outdoors. It's just really nice. But I'm like looking at like the swimming baths that I go to aren't very nice particularly or at all. And the gym there wouldn't be. So I'm like looking at other gyms as well. I'm just trying to figure out what I can do. But man, I was like, went there fully what I wanted to do was I went there just to see like what I was missing out on, you know? Not expecting to go in and be like £66 a month, that's so much money. Not leave and go, 130 though. Ludicrous, mate, ludicrous. Right, let's start heating stuff up. So annoyingly, I actually left thinking I could pay that crazy amount of money. Part of me can see myself doing it. It's one of the things that obviously that's a waste of money if you don't use it. But I could be like, I could totally see myself hanging around with these people. I feel like I'm part of this economic class now, you know? Kind of stupid, really. I'm going to see... basically, I've only ever seen inside that gym and one other gym, which is the gym we went to when we lived at the old flat. And I hated that one. I hated it because it was just like grotty, you know? And I'm going to go try and look around a more expensive one that's like that, like 24/7, whatever. It's a little bit more expensive, so hopefully it's a bit better, but apparently Laura says some of her workmates, who are a bit posh and snooty, say that they're like, it's probably more about the people there rather than the thingy. So like if you're going to somewhere like David Lloyd, where I went today, it's full of like rich, posh people, basically. So therefore, like, it's got that vibe. Whereas if you go somewhere that's cheap, it's going to have that vibe and it's going to be less appealing. I think I'm going to carry on swimming, but I'm just trying to see my other options because I feel like I could go to the gym and stuff. The thing is, the pool and the gym at the leisure centre is the only one that's within like walking distance that you can walk to reasonably. Everything else is a drive. And I feel like if I'm going to drive, I want it to feel clean enough to have a shower and get changed on the way back because I've got a weird thing about being sweaty in cars. Just looking around for the cat. So I've been looking into the integration tests for Pulumi, and it's not really, what it basically means is there's an API. Hello. There's an API that lets you effectively, from an integration test, spin up the code in an ephemeral environment. I'm trying to think, because like what I currently have is I have the unit tests which go through and do a load of stuff, property tests which run on deployment and run on previews. And so the property tests are where I'm getting a load of data that I can't get from a unit test level. Because it's actively deployed, and then I'm just effectively like looking at the deployed state. Hello, baby. Are you okay? Are you okay, baby? Look at this man. Jimmy, love me. Gently. Love me gently. Don't fight me. That's not nice. That's not nice. Can I? Nope. Okay, that's cool. I'll walk away. That's fine. You win. Do I need integration tests that do the same thing? So I have like local stacks, integration stacks, which are, so effectively like from an integration test, from the property tests are running integration-esque stuff. I don't think I need the integration tests, especially not for this. Maybe I can do them in the future at some point, but like, I think at the current state of play, what I have at the moment is effective. I'm thinking, when would I run the integration tests? At what point do I get them? You run the unit test, happy days. Maybe you run the preview for the Pulumi tests. And then you do the when you do the release, you do the preview again. you do the integration again. You deploy it, running the property tests, which pull it down if it's failed, and then it's deployed. And then in theory, I feel like what I would want there is an integration test that actually like touches it, like actually like interacts with the service, rather than like an integration test that does all of that in an ephemeral environment. Because I've effectively got an ephemeral environment. It's just not, arguably it's not ephemeral. So I couldn't run it in parallel. So yeah, that's the downside to my current strategy. It infers you're only ever doing one deployment. Of course you're only doing one deployment. Why would you? To the integration environment. That isn't actually necessarily true. Long story short, I am going to figure out how to do the deployment. I'm just going to like wire up the deployments and then call this a day. And if I want to look at integration tests in the future, I can. Sounds like a plan. I'm at the point now where it's like 9 o'clock. I don't know when Laura's coming back. I don't know. Presumably she's going on a lift. I don't know whether or not to risk making a cup of tea. Because whenever I make a cup of tea, she wants to come back, you know? I've gone for a juice because there's only 2 of them. They've only got out for a meal, so I doubt they're going to be out forever. I'm also going to modify my quote integration tests, which are at the moment just doing the stuff via the integration. I think what I've effectively done is replicate what would be inside the what's it called, boys? Replicate what would be inside the integration tests manually, maybe in TypeScript and something else. I don't know. Like I say, I don't see the integration tests. The problem with this stuff is there's like next to no documentation. It's so bad. The value I get for the monumental task of figuring out how the fuck to do those integration tests basically isn't worth the grief. My plan is to stick with what I've got. I am going to be, like I say, I'm just changing the thing. So I've now got the integration test that run beforehand. I've got build, when you check in, does all the standard unit tests. It will then do the policy tests on the preview. If that passes and you're in a pull request, it will then do a test deployment to a real environment and tear it down. Doing the full property test. And then if you want to do a release, you can then promote it one step further and do an actual release against a real environment. Whew. So even though it's the weekend, I'm still getting up at 5:30 in the morning. My alarm's supposed to wake me up at any time between 6:30 and 5:30, and obviously it picks 5:30. I swear, if you say you can wake me up at any time within the hour, it always wakes you up at the beginning of that hour, no matter what. We've had a great day today though. Got up early. I finished my Pulumi deployment stuff. I'm going to tidy up my PR and make sure I've documented a load of stuff. But that's working grand. Otherwise, got ready, had breakfast, got ready and whatnot. We went to Bath for the day. I got this t-shirt the other day, by the way. It's got a little hole in this collar, which Laura's going to try and fix for me. It was £3, to be fair. We went for a walk down Bath. We got to park and ride, walked along the river, through all the parks and stuff, through the city centre, got some lunch, got cold drinks at a park, walked along the canal and the river on the way back. It was great. Spent all day out there and it wasn't too bad either because we had air conditioning in the cars. We can drive back in relative comfort. Otherwise, came back here. I've had a clear out of clothes. A load of clothes that I don't wear or don't like or don't fit or are getting too old. I binned an entire bin bag full. And now I can start replacing stuff. So I was making note of all the things that almost got binned. Like this almost got binned. And that means that t-shirt I've been keeping an eye on, and I haven't been buying it because I've got that one. It's a very similar looking colour. Well. I can justify it now. Then we spent some time in the garden, played some Xbox. We cooked dinner, had steak, chips and stuffed mushrooms, and I have become the don at cooking steaks. Done 2 steaks now, a ribeye and a sirloin, both of them fucking cracking, mate. If you had that in a restaurant, you'd have been happy, you'd have been chuffed, you'd have left thinking that was a great restaurant. And then otherwise we've just been watching TV. So yeah, the main reason I was doing, that's what I was going to say, the main reason I've cleared stuff out is because Monty really likes sleeping on my clothes. So like I have my pyjamas by the radiator, so when I wake up in the morning, I can just put my pyjamas on, but they're on the floor. Monty sleeps on them, so all my clothes are covered in fluff. And like when I get dressed at the end of the evening, I put my clothes like here, and Monty sleeps on them. It's a bad habit, but like it's because I always wake up and often go to bed after Laura, so I don't want to be like turning on lights and stuff. I actually don't know what I'm going to do in my pyjamas overnight. That's a good point. I haven't actually solved the problem. We need to wrap this video up, boys. Oh, Moo Moo just exited loaf mode to attack my leg. Today has been a pretty standard Sunday. Lots of chipping through stuff like cleaning and whatnot. Been doing a lot of like admin, like computer admin and research and stuff. I kind of feel quite do you mind? What is this? Optimistic, let's say. But yeah, so I've just kind of figuring out what I'm doing and whatnot, and I feel like I'm getting pounced on. And yeah, so basically cleaning, pottering, admin, organising things, getting ducks in a row and all that kind of stuff. God, it's been stupid hot today. It's been too hot. I changed my longboard wheels and my belts, because when I put the new wheels on, the belts kept slipping. And obviously they're different belts to the big wheel belts. But yeah, so I swapped them out for new ones. And I've now got the street wheels, and I had to go on them on the streets, and my fucking god, I forgot how much faster they were. They're so quick. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And that's just like, they don't have the little creaking noise that the other ones had, which I think is to do with a relatively loose bearing, but we'll figure that out. Do I have anything else to say? No. Otherwise, been pondering gyms. I'm on a bit of a like health kick a little bit, and I'm trying to like capture that momentum, you know. But that's by the by. I've only been swimming once, dickhead. It's gonna be a busy week. Is it gonna be a busy week? It's the end of sprint week, isn't it? This week. Yeah. So yeah, we've got should be a busy week. Should have a lot of fun, good stuff though to chip into, so I'm looking forward to that. Optimistic. I always say that going into Mondays, but optimistic. And I'm like sharpening my focus a little bit. I feel like I'm ready, you know. Just need to deliver this time. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'll catch you later.